I was one of the ones in their 40s, so. So I was a theater major in college, and we had to take a few dance classes, but that was decades ago, and part of the reason I was interested in the dance segment of Fear Experiment. What I learned back then was, I don't think I can dance, but a part of me always refused to accept that. I originally wanted to explore the possibility of Fear Experiment because of the aforementioned issues with dance, and I thought it sounded like a great way to approach a skill that I haven't shown much natural talent for, because I want to be able to dance. And after watching the video, I realized that FE is much more than just a class and a performance. It's a human connection project, and that too is something I could really use in my life right now. Purpose, fun, and connection. I want to be better at accomplishing things in general. I've never been good at motivating myself and believing in myself. I'm discouraged by the realization that I'm as old as I am, and I don't have much to show for it. I suffer from what happened and where did my life go feeling every single day. In addition, my life has changed a lot recently. I've been a caregiver for my mom for several years, and just over a year ago, I moved her into a nursing home. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, and I still willingly and gladly drive out to my hometown once or twice a week to care for her and spend time with her. My mom has always been my biggest fan and greatest supporter, and if she could have come tonight, she would have. And she would have been here cheering with all of you. Being a caregiver for a parent is heartbreaking, exhausting, and the greatest honor I will ever have. But it's taught me a lot, and one thing I've learned is that you have to keep going and living and experiencing new things, so here I am.
I signed up for Fear Experiment because I was trying to get out of my normal comfort zone of doing the same things with the same people all the time. I'd heard great things about the FE programs and thought it sounded like a good way to challenge myself both with a new art form that I'm excited about learning and in a social sense of being in a space where I don't know anyone at all on the first day, which is another big fear of mine. I really wanted to feel more confident walking into a room full of strangers. I've found that I still have some things to work on and that I'm starting to become the person that I know is hiding inside.
I have a music performance background, but had the typical falling out in adolescence when pressure and self-consciousness overruled to create pretty bad performance anxiety. I switched gears into an expressive arts therapy field because I believe the arts can do wonderful things to heal people, but I hadn't taken the time to work on healing myself. I still feel a rift between my present anxieties and inhibitions and my original love for performance arts, and recognize how allowing this to linger can negatively impact me as a person and as a clinician. I want to do all that I can to change that dynamic. I've spent the last 10 years trying to get away from performance when I secretly miss things about it. I love to dance, but I'm haunted by both real and imagined criticisms I've received from others in the past, related to assumptions about how I look or what they expect me to be capable of. I like that performance offers opportunities to prove some of those assumptions wrong. I'm drawn to FE as a personal growth experience, but also largely for the community aspect. I relocated to Chicago a few years ago and became encapsulated in my focus on work and graduate school, and these roles can be pretty isolating in a city where I'm already a transplant. I really want to feel a part of a community I live in and have meaningful interactions with people outside of professional and academic roles. I want to interact with people in just people roles.
I find my mind exploding with thoughts that I'd love to communicate, but I'm often too scared to speak up. The thought of what others will think is perhaps always the first thing that comes to mind. I know people will always judge. It's human nature. So the work needs to be done on my end in terms of having confidence that what I have to say or do is worth doing regardless of what others will think.
Happy birthday, Shayna. Happy birthday to my dad. I would love to get taught by an expert with others who are not experts. I like how this levels out the playing field in a safe, fun, and social way. FE makes a safe space for me to let out my crazy to the world. Whoosh. I like to network, bond, and kumbaya with new people outside of my Jewish bubble. Looking back at something that I'm proud of, my senior year of college, I wanted to do something good for my Indiana University, go Hoosiers, LGBT community. We had so many groups to choose from, but no one knew of or could keep track of. One person tried to showcase all these groups in one night, but that ended up with lots and lots of drama. I wondered, how could I promote all these different LGBT groups and keep everyone's attention? I used my superpowers of using my resources for a win-win situation. I knew that all the student comedy groups are always looking for a stage to perform on, especially one they did not have to promote for. This is when the Pride Comedy Festival was born. It was a night filled with humor, free condoms, yeah, and promotional plugs for community groups. It was standing room only. I did something that only I could possibly visualize. I trusted my gut and made what one called the best diversity event on campus. I was getting emails from all sorts of big people like newspapers and the like. I know I had done something good. I combined all my passions into one evening that I'll never forget.
There are many reasons why I want to do Fear Experiment again. Some of my most nerve-wracking moments in my life have been triggered by my participation in Fear Experiment. But also, some of my most proud moments with sense of accomplishment have also been triggered by my participation in Fear Experiment shows. There was a time where I truly believed I can't do this, I can't do that, especially when it came to performing or speaking in front of people. I didn't enjoy being the center of attention, so I never put myself in those situations. When I danced with my group in Fear Experiment 6, those beliefs were shattered. I was liberated from my self-imposed limitations that I carried for a long time. When I performed storytelling by myself on the following show, it was an even bigger deal because I was up there by myself. I was the center of attention. That show solidified my newfound confidence that I can push myself further than what I thought I could. I also went to do Fear Experiment because I like to be around people that are looking to push themselves and try or learn something new. I like the positive energy and the teamwork as everyone is working towards the same goal.
My fears include bombing, being blasted all over the World Wide Web at my current size, not being funny and or not familiar with the subject matter. I'm tired of being dry like toast in unfamiliar or uncomfortable situations. I tend to severely clam up at times. I would also like to improve my communication and public speaking skills. I figured this would be an out-of-the-box and cool way to stretch and push myself into doing so. Thank you.
When I applied for FE the first time, I didn't realize that only certain art forms went at a certain time. So when I came to the info session, I actually thought I was going to apply for dance, because out of all of them, that's the one that actually terrifies me. I want to do FE again because it was amazing, one of the best experiences of my adult life. For me, the show was fun, but the thing that I liked the most was practicing. I liked getting together to work on something creative. I loved the a cappella teacher's enthusiasm, and it seems that the dance teacher also is the same. I really, really loved not thinking about my work for 4 hours every week. I loved making new friends, and all around, it was just such a positive experience that I realized the only legitimate thing holding me back from doing it again would be my fear of dancing, and that's the opposite of what FE is about. I want to be better at opening up and showing emotion. I have a tendency to put up a pretty tough exterior, which includes safe bits of emotion, without opening up about my actual feelings and insecurities. I wish I was better at letting down that guard, and I think DE will force me to do that with respect to dancing. So for me, the fear factor this time is dancing. I have always wanted to be the kind of person who could dance in a group. Flash mobs, cutesy wedding dances, my high school drill team, all of those are things that I love. But the thought of doing it myself produces cold sweats. I suspect a big part of that is that as a short, pudgy person, I have never thought of myself as particularly cute, sensual, or sexy, much less coordinated or actually talented when it comes to dancing. And this perception that you are these things seems to be what it takes to dance in public, or at least that's what I've always thought. I would never dance in public without at least a little bit of liquid courage. So this time around, as opposed to with a cappella, my fear is pure and directly related to the very thing I'm about to do.
When Saya said finding a tribe, I thought that's the perfect description for what I want in my life. There are so many times when I feel like I'm not enough, and I need a cohort of people who can help me contradict those negative voices. I'm looking for good people who will help me see the good in myself. I'm also excited to try improv as a release. A long-distance friend who also has depression said it's been the best thing for her because you literally cannot judge yourself. That sounds perfect. I have two big hang-ups about Fear Experiment: leaving school before 6:30 p.m. and the fact that I have depression. These two things sort of reinforce each other, keeping me from building the life that I want. Oftentimes I stay at school because I feel like I'm not doing enough for the kids, so I should keep staying longer. Or that I have lost relationships because I spend so much time at work, so I've already lost my chance for relationships outside of work. It becomes this lose-lose. But I can do this. I'm worthy of friendship. It's not too late.
My fear factor is selling tickets. Big fear. I'm bad at it. I don't promote myself. I never have, and I'm not sure I can ever get over it. I don't want people to know what I'm doing. It's strange. I know. So thank you to everyone in this audience that came out to support us. It means the world to us that you are here. What am I proud of? This is a tough one for me. I'm not really proud of anything. But that all changes tonight.